Golden age has only just begun. We are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never, ever surrender.
In front of a crowd of supporters, President Trump marks 100 days in office today, touting the rapid rollout of new policies and executive orders. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. While the president is framing his first few months in office as broadly successful, polling numbers paint a different picture, with mixed reviews coming in from voters. KTVU's Greg Lee has more tonight on how President Trump has relentlessly pushed his agenda.
We've just gotten started. You haven't even seen anything yet. It's all just kicking in.
President Donald Trump marking 100 days in the White House with a rally in Michigan, a swing state he won en route to his second term. Mr. Trump giving himself high marks.
Slashing billions and billions of dollars of waste, fraud, and abuse. And above all, we're saving the American dream. We're making America great again, and it's happening fast, too.
Mr. Trump's kept a frenetic pace the last 3.5 months, signing 142 executive orders and counting, a record number for this time frame. The milestone comes as his approval rating takes a hit across major polls, driven by concerns about the economy and his tariff policies amid campaign promises of lowering prices.
When we look at consumer sentiment that's forward-looking, 6 out of 10 Americans believe we're headed for a recession. That's not a place you want to be past 100 days where the hard votes have to be taken.
In a new index, consumer confidence dropped for the 5th straight month into its lowest level since May 2020, a sentiment Democrats have made the focus of their criticism.
You have a president that with irrational tariff policy is destroying the economy and having massive cuts to science, to universities, to medical research.
Republicans remaining optimistic about the president's agenda.
It's a great time for the country, and you can sense our optimism about all that.
Polls also show voters are concerned with the president's efforts to slash federal spending and believe his power is not being checked enough. Though they've dropped, his best marks come on one of his key promises, cracking down on illegal immigration.
There's never been such a difference in anything as the difference between the border today and the border what it was just 6 months ago. So I want to say congratulations, America. It's about time.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection reported a 95% drop in illegal crossings in March to the lowest level ever recorded. Still, about half of voters polled say his policies have gone too far on the backdrop of high-profile cases like Kilmer Abrego Garcia.
But while they have come down clearly on issues like immigration, right, while they've come down relative to crime, they're still ahead of Democrats on many of those issues.
On the big issues, polls show voters trust Trump more than the Democratic Party. South Bay Congressman Ro Khanna has been holding town halls in red districts and states, hoping to change that perception.
I think we need more Democratic politicians out there in communities making the case about why Trump's actions are unconstitutional and hurting the economy, and we need to be standing up to him.
In the next 100 days, the focus will shift to Congress in the budget bill the president wants to see passed. Republicans have set a July 4th deadline for themselves. Greg Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
And members of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, including several Democrats from western states, held a news conference earlier today to mark the administration's 100-day mark. They say President Trump was elected on promises, including lowering prices for average Americans. But they say the administration's real focus is on extending tax breaks to billionaires and large corporations by slashing the government.
Mass firings, dismantling of agencies, data mining of your sensitive data, hurting real Americans, teachers, firefighters, veterans, and all along the way, they've been self-dealing, giving themselves contracts. Elon Musk taking off with literally billions of dollars in his pocket in new contracts.
The Progressive Caucus says that they will continue to speak out against potential cuts to vital programs, and they pledge to win a Democratic majority in the midterm elections next year. Today, though, Republicans argued the president is fulfilling his promises, particularly on immigration.
The Trump administration has stopped illegal border crossings. Congressman Downing said it well, 99.9% success rate.
In just 100 days, 100 days, Mr. President, he has delivered to an incredible degree.
Senate Democrats say they plan to give floor speeches well into the night tonight to mark President Trump's first 100 days in office. Well, Amazon caused an uproar at the White House today after reports the Seattle-based retail giant was considering showing customers price increases that were caused by President Trump's tariffs. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called this a hostile act. President Trump then called Amazon founder Jeff Bezos to complain and then later said that Bezos had solved the problem. This dust-up comes as some Amazon sellers are pulling out of Prime Day because of the administration's tariffs. According to Reuters, sellers are making that move in order to protect their profit margins against the steep tariffs placed on Chinese goods, which now stand at 145%. That comes on top of a 15% commission that Amazon takes from each unit that's sold. California has joined a coalition of states suing the Trump administration over massive cuts to the volunteer agency AmeriCorps. This suit argues the administration's Department of Government Efficiency has acted unlawfully by cutting $400 million in grants to AmeriCorps and placing 85% of its workforce on leave. California Attorney General Rob Bonta was joined by 22 other states in this lawsuit. That includes Colorado, Washington, Arizona, Hawaii, Nevada, New Mexico, and Oregon. 2 Bay Area counties are also challenging President Trump's effort to downsize the federal government. San Francisco and Santa Clara counties have joined a national coalition in a new lawsuit against the Trump administration.
This case is the largest and most significant challenge to the president's authority to reorganize the federal government without congressional input.
The lawsuit was filed last night in federal court. The coalition is asking the court for what's called injunctive relief from President Trump and the Department of Government Efficiency, also known as DOGE.
Congress has the authority to dissolve or restructure federal agencies. At no point has Congress authorized President Trump's actions to reorganize and dismantle the federal agencies that are so critical to our nation's well-being.
Our federal government has been decimated and thrown into complete disarray. Trump is blatantly ignoring checks and balances and trying to act as both president and Congress.
The group says it hopes the courts will issue a ruling by this week. Other states across the West that have joined this lawsuit are Nevada, Oregon, New Mexico, and Arizona. Arizona's Attorney General says the number of state officials in this lawsuit is likely to grow.
Well, we don't believe that what is going on is efficient. Slashing jobs, gutting essential services, leaving communities scrambling to pick up the pieces. That is not efficiency. It is flat out destruction.
The Attorney General says no Republican attorneys general have joined her fight, but she is hopeful they can collaborate on other key issues. Tonight, an Irish woman who lives in California is being held at an immigration detention center in Washington. Her family says she was detained as she returned from a visit to Ireland. As Fox 13's Nia Wong reports tonight, there's growing concern about whether she'll be able to return home.
Cleona Ward has been living in Northern California for 30 years, according to her sister, Orla Holiday. These days, Holiday's heart aches for Ward, especially after their last conversation.
She said, "I can't stay in here. Like, get me out, like, please." Like, she was begging me, and I was like, oh my God, like, I will do whatever I can to get you out.
It's not the distance that distresses Holiday. It's knowing her big sister is locked up at ICE Tacoma.
She's been in there for 6 days, and she still doesn't actually have a hearing.
Holiday says after Ward returned from Ireland in March, she was questioned about a drug conviction from 2007. She says when Ward went to show up for an administrative meeting in April to present documents, she was arrested at San Francisco International Airport.
My sister's story is a story of success, of a woman who had struggled in the past with addiction. And she was picked up on, with drug possession. She went through extensive rehabilitation to expunge, to vacate these crimes.
Immigration experts say they've seen a big difference in how green card holders are treated when traveling in and out of America.
We've heard so many stories just in these 100 days of folks who may not have had any issues before.
Jen Chen is a member with Ryan Swanson in Cleveland, specializing in immigration.
These days, it's gotten a little bit more shaky in terms of who's being targeted and who is not.
She advises green card holders to check in with an immigration attorney before traveling internationally.
CBP has a wide reach in terms of accessing people's criminal records. So even if you were charged but not convicted, these are things you want to be extra wary of these days.
For now, Holiday says she set up this GoFundMe to help Ward with legal expenses and says she's received support from people around the world, as well as the Irish consulate.
When I tell her, she breaks down in tears. But, will it help her? We hope. But what we're up against is a pretty extensive situation.
Holiday says no hearing has been set, and it could be as long as 4 months before that happens.
I want to caution people out there right now who are green card holders from traveling. If you have any kind of conviction, past conviction, I want to save anybody else having to go through this hell. It's awful.
Nia Wong, Fox News.
Tonight, tens of thousands of Los Angeles County workers are on the picket lines. This is all part of a two-day strike called by SEIU Local 721 over failed negotiations with the county. The union represents more than 55,000 county employees, including healthcare workers, social workers, and custodians. They are accusing the county of more than 40 labor law violations during contract negotiations, and they say the county has refused to bargain in good faith.
LA County has been violating labor law over 44 times during this contract negotiations. They haven't been giving us legally information that they were required to for bargaining. They've been surveilling and intimidating our union members throughout this process.
The strike is expected to disrupt some public services, including temporary library closures, non-urgent health care clinic closures, and delays in encampment cleanups across the county. Also in Southern California, police tonight are searching for whoever vandalized a mural honoring Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. That mural in downtown LA was found covered in graffiti. Soon after it was discovered, Lakers superstar Luka Doncic immediately stepped in to help, saying that he would be donating $5,000 to pay for the repairs to this mural, which is known as Mambas Forever. The mural was one of the first ones painted after Kobe and Gianna died in a 2020 helicopter crash. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, the race to find a new home for a historic and beloved landmark along a highway in Washington, the construction project along Interstate 5 that is putting this famous rock at risk. Also, a wildfire in Arizona quickly growing in size tonight and forcing evacuations, how weather conditions in that part of the state are making this a difficult battle.
And a live look here over the Bay Area, where many parts of the Bay Area this afternoon saw a warming trend. A better look at what we can expect across the West for tomorrow coming up.
Authorities in Southern California are tracking a troubling trend in the community of Altadena, which was devastated by the Eaton Fire. Property crimes in that area have surged by 450% since January's fire. The Los Angeles County Sheriff's Office says property crimes have gone up since the fire back in January. Authorities say that thieves in this case are targeting burned out lots and unoccupied homes, and that's prompting the Sheriff's Department to triple patrols and conduct undercover operations. Arrests, they say, are up by 250%. Officials are urging residents to install security cameras and fencing at their properties. LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger called the crimes disgusting and vowed that offenders will face prosecution. We turn now to a wildfire that's burning in southeastern Arizona that is prompting evacuation orders for some people in Cochise County. What's being called the Stronghold Fire has burned through around 2,300 acres southwest of Wilcox, and it's 0% contained tonight. The fire started yesterday morning, and crews say it spread quickly because of the high winds and dry vegetation. Dozens of fire crews have been called in, but we're being told that aircraft have been grounded, at least for a time, because of those strong winds. Let's talk about our weather across the West and give you a live look here at downtown Phoenix. A beautiful sunset shot here. The sun setting over the mountains and temperatures expected to rise in this part of Arizona this week. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Rosemary Orozco tracking our conditions across the West. Other folks are going to see some cooler conditions.
You're right, Alex. Wow, that was a gorgeous view. Phoenix this afternoon coming in 88 degrees, 90s expected in the days ahead with light winds. And with that heat and the light winds, there is an air quality alert for tomorrow into Wednesday night. It looks like 9 p.m. for unhealthy levels of ground level ozone pollution for the Maricopa County area. It does include parts of Phoenix. Not the case in Los Angeles today. Plenty of sunshine, 73 degrees reported there. And as we take a look over the San Francisco area, we had some nice weather here as well, with some of the inland areas of the Bay reaching into the low 80s. Some of the highs across the region for today, a beautiful one in Las Vegas at 81, a hot one in Palm Springs at 95. As we head to the Pacific Northwest, though, a different story. Scattered showers are pushing out of the Seattle area tonight. 59 degrees the afternoon high here. Getting into tomorrow, pleasant weather expected for areas over Washington, Oregon, as this system here is pushing its way to the east. That is going to bring a little bit of unsettled weather to areas like Utah and Denver, Colorado. You can see here on the Futurecast model. But the state of California going to see some nice warm weather. In fact, temperatures expected to peak over parts of California tomorrow before a cool down begins. Meanwhile, the Sierra in California seeing some elevated convection, meaning thunderstorms will be in the forecast again for tomorrow. Temperatures will begin to cool on Thursday over parts of the West, and take a look at what is on the doorstep for Friday. Heading into the weekend, the Pacific Northwest and the northern half of California likely to see some unsettled weather return. When it comes to the temperatures over areas of Seattle, 64 for tomorrow, 74 on Thursday, before we begin to see a cool down into the weekend. For the Bay Area, temperatures peak tomorrow before the cool down settles in. Los Angeles enjoying low 70s for the next few days. And as you mentioned a moment ago, Alex, Phoenix going to see a warm-up, low to mid-90s expected by Friday, with cooler weather arriving by the back end of the weekend. Back to you.
Okay, Rosemary, thank you. A historic landmark in western Washington is at risk of being destroyed. What's known as the Bellingham Rock sits right in the path of a highway improvement project. As Fox 13's Jennifer Dowling tells us, the race is on now to find a new home for the beloved rock.
If you're driving north on I-5 in Whatcom County, the Bellingham Rock is hard to miss.
You're always kind of looking for the rock.
The brightly painted boulder sits nestled in the trees just south of the city.
This is super thick of paint.
Rock preservationist Keith Cook says it's been greeting visitors and locals since the late 60s.
It has that, welcome home feel.
And offering a community canvas for anyone with the gumption to grab a can of paint.
Thing's been painted 1,000 times. People obviously enjoy it.
The 2 inches of paint offer layers of local history.
There's been that many memories have been put on this rock year after year, month after month.
Hundreds of murals of celebration and memorials to loved ones lost.
It'd be interesting to do archaeology and just peel it back and see what it was one at a time.
The rock is so popular, it has its own Facebook page and spot on the map.
But it is a landmark, so it's on the Historic Society registry.
But the clock is ticking for this Rock of Ages.
It's in danger.
It must be moved ahead of construction of a fish passage along Friday, Lake, and Chuckanut Creeks. Cook wants to make sure the rock is spared.
It's either going to be exploded or relocated, so it's trying to save some history.
WashDOT confirms it's located in the footprint of the project and must move. And once that's done, it cannot be returned over fears it will encourage unsafe parking and access. A spokesperson says right now WashDOT can't answer whether the rock will be destroyed or moved.
It really just takes someone speaking up and saying, yeah, I'll take the rock.
Keith is asking anyone with ideas to chip in.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings if it's not here anymore.
Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, Idaho school buses utilizing new technology aimed at ensuring students make it to school safely. Plus, a minor league baseball team soon to see some major upgrades. The construction now underway for a new and improved stadium. In Idaho, school buses are now using cutting-edge technology to help keep kids safe. A tracking software called Tyler Technology Trevera is being introduced to school bus routes around the community of Magic Valley. According to Mid-Columbia Bus Company, which services local schools, this software allows students to scan an ID card when they board and exit the bus, which can then notify their parents about where their children are. All parents have to do is download the app to track their students. The software also makes bus routes more private.
We used to have to display the routes on the school district website. So it was also for that, for the safety of the students, where our stops weren't on display. So the parents get only their students' information for their children.
Twin Falls has also already implemented this technology. The Filer School District says it's looking into adopting those scanners as well in the near future. In Oregon, construction for the minor league baseball team, the Hillsboro Hops, is now underway, and organizers are confident that this new stadium, once it's open, will improve the fan and player experience. The Hops started planning the new stadium back in 2021 when Major League Baseball announced new standards for all of their affiliate teams. The Hillsboro Hops general manager says fans will see upgrades in concessions and premium seating, but the most exciting upgrades are happening behind the scenes where the players and staff will get to experience them.
We're adding a weight room, which we don't have now. The locker room spaces are way nicer, more major league type quality. The coaches' offices, we have separate spaces for male and female coaches now, which we don't have now.
And the hope is that that new stadium will also be the site for concerts as well as shows in the town of Hillsboro. The new stadium aims to hold 6,000 fans for baseball games and 7,000 people for concerts. Crews are confident that construction is going to wrap up by December. They are working quickly there. Finally, tonight, basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal has agreed to become the general manager of the Sacramento State University men's basketball team. This is going to be an unpaid, voluntary role under new head coach Mike Bibby, another former NBA star who was hired at the university just last month to run the basketball program. Shaq's son, Shaquille O'Neal, has committed to playing at Sacramento State University after transferring from Florida A&M University. So Shaq headed to Sac. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. To stay up to date on all the big stories we're covering across the West, head to our website. It's westcoastwrap.com. And another reminder before we head out here, you can stream all of our shows for free on your smart TV. All you have to do is download that free Fox Local app. Have a great rest of your night. We'll leave you with this gorgeous and cloudy shot here of the Golden Gate Bridge. Have a great night.